Now, the next topic, that is impulse. It is also known as impulse of force, or sometimes it is known as impulsive force. Now see, sometimes some phenomena are such that in which large force act on the body for very small time interval, and the phenomena is such that in which it is very difficult, or we are not able sometimes to find that particular force acting on the object, as well as the time interval for which the force is acting. So for such phenomena, in some cases, actually the force acting on the body as well as the time interval for which the force is acting is not important thing also. But the important thing, that is change in momentum, and that we can measure. So a new physical quantity is defined here, named as impulse, or impulse of force, or impulsive force, and it is defined as the product of force and the time duration for which the force is acting. So impulse, that is equal to force into time duration. But actually force into time duration, that is nothing but the change in momentum, because as per Newton's second law of motion, we know this thing, F equal to dp by dt. So if we take this dt on left hand side, then we can write impulse of force, or impulse or impulsive force, that is F into dt, that is equal to dp, and this dp, that is the change in momentum. Clear? So here actually the impulse or impulsive force, that is nothing but the change in momentum. They sometimes ask the question in 1 mark like this: write down the unit and dimensional formula for impulse or impulsive force. Now simply you have to think, after all, impulse or impulsive force, that is nothing but change in momentum. Change in momentum means final momentum minus initial momentum. After all, final momentum minus initial momentum, that is resultantly momentum. So we have to write the unit and dimensional formula of momentum, that is kilogram meter per second, and dimensional formula, that is m1 l1 t minus 1. Now see here, let's try to understand this thing with one example. You see the cricket matches, right? Now in that, when batsmen hit the ball, at that time large amount of force act on the ball. And now if we think about the time interval for which the force act, so time interval or time duration for which the force act, that is the time of contact between bat and ball. But you all are aware about this thing, the time interval of the contact between bat and ball, that is a fraction of second. Now in that time interval, large force act. Now we can't measure that force, we can't measure that time interval, but in this particular case, after all, out of these two things, nothing is important. The important thing, that is change in momentum. In which direction ball move, with what velocity, or we can say with what momentum, that is important thing. Okay, and that we can measure easily. So this physical quantity, that is also very important. Clear to all of you?